Hey guys, Mateo here, and I'm the Guildmaster Past in Gaming, and this is Hall of Trials, Week 1, Nilgal. So a couple things here. I'm sorry, I've just been running through my runs, and I forgot to record the first two. This is run 3. So a few things. You need a knight in the group. Knight gives you plus 20% attack, plus 20% HP to your group. Thieves get the disadvantage. They do 30% less damage, so you don't want to bring thieves. If you're debuffed, you give him CR when you attack him. Nilgal, give him 20%, and you deal 30% less damage, so you don't want to be debuffed. So you want either immunity or you want cleanses. So I'm using Tamarin and Vivian for immunity and cleanses, but you could easily use Montmorency to cleanse. You could use, I'm also using Clarissa up there for insurance policy. You could also be using Kitty Clarissa, if I'm using. You could be using Angelica for the immunity. You could be using Basque for the immunity. The debuff you need for the extra damage this week is attack debuff. So my Chaos Axe, who I'm not using in this run, he has that. As you see, Charles has that on his S1.
Very interesting. I've done my part.
Dizzy has it, but I wouldn't recommend using her this week.
No, I'm scared. Hello?
Can't you handle this?
I'll show you how it's done. How disappointing.
Yeah, that's not bad.
Will you play with me, Meow? Don't give up. Meow.
So I basically have my Charles geared as a DPS. He doesn't have speed boots on. He has Daydream Joker. He's just there to do the thick DPS.
I think I'm going to faint.
Are you confident? Unleash my power!
Charles also has an attack buff. If you're like, well, Mateo, I don't have Vivian. Well, you know, Charles brings his own attack buff. The only reason I'm not using it is because Vivian's there, but if she weren't, I'd be using his. Tamarin has attack buff. Deanne has attack buff. So there's a
Close your eyes.
there's a lot of setups you can use here.
Yep.
This is what I'm using because my Charles is already basically fully built.
Can't you handle this?
Will you play with me, Meow?
My Vivian is not built. If you're wondering why I'm not using her S2, S2 does a little bit more damage, but I don't have the -1 cooldown on her S3, so there's a gap from when her S3 is going to come off cooldown and when Nilgal comes out of the awakened phase and blasts me. So I need to have it. I need to cycle her turns faster to get that S3 back off cooldown so I can have it ready to go. Now we are kind of getting low. Immunity buffs are kind of running down here. So actually the only one that's running down is her. So I'm going to do one more S1.
I'm all ready.
Destroying everything is too annoying.
Watch carefully.
I think I'm going to faint. Listen to my song. I will shine, ladies and gentlemen.
Want to refresh attack buff here.
Very interesting.
She has like a 96 or something % chance to crit, so that's pretty frustrating.
This is the start. Meow. Is it time for me, Meow? Destroying everything? Meow, meow. It's too annoying. Meow. I'll do my best. Here.
I'll show you how it's done.
Are you confident? I've done my part.
Will you play with Meow? Here. Meow.
Can't you handle this?
This is my stage. Shine free.
It's time to draw my sword.
Oh, that's gonna hurt.
Do what I want. Meow, meow, meow.
I'm all ready. Forbidden spell. Destroy all.
You can't close your eyes. Yes.
Poison bomb.
Clarissa wants to play. Meow. Do your best.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and cleanse here.
This is the start. Meow. Here. Meow.
Very interesting.
I'm scared.
I do have to heal here. I'm pretty low.
Away.
Watch and learn.
I'll do what I want. Meow, meow.
And here we go. Here's the invincible phase.
Are you confident?
You can't close your eyes.
Can't you handle this?
Destroying everything here. Meow. Meow.
How disappointing. Watch carefully.
Are you confident?
I think I'm going to faint. Listen. To my song. Listen to me sing.
I'll help.
Will you play with Meow? Meow, meow.
Very interesting.
Ta-da! Here.
Correct your posture.
Alright, so that's 2.8 million. That's an S. Now, I just have to kill him, right? You're going to get the 700 points for the kill. That's 3.5 million. He has 300,000 HP. So 3.1 plus 700,000 will put me at 3.8. That is a triple S. So I don't want to proc. I don't want to get hit twice here.
To determine.
I don't want the chance to hit him twice.
I'm all ready.
So I'm going to put the
Destruction.
immunity back up and pray for the best. And so these eggs are going to proc. If you wonder what the eggs do, they can't be dispelled. You can't kill them. All they do is every time they cycle a turn, they apply poison. They put more debuffs on you to kind of screw with the run. And so that's kind of why you need the immunity. I tried it just cleansing, just Montmorency or just Tamarin. I was like, man, I really need really need a healer here, or I need an immunity too, because the eggs will really get to you. You cleanse Nilgal, and then the eggs go, and then they kind of like ruin your day. But honestly, more so than the cleanse is the immunity. Like if I had 2 immunity buffs, so like if I wanted to run Vivian and then let's say Lilis, or you know, whoever the new Fire Knight comes out, she also has immunity, I could just run her. I don't think I really need the healing if I didn't get debuffed. It's really the poisons. He doesn't really do a lot of damage. It's just the poison. So like let's say instead of Kitty Clarissa, so I run Lilis and Vivian, and then instead of Kitty Clarissa I run like Flurry. You know, something that's some ancillary healing. I don't really need a full healer. I just kind of need something to stop me for the chip damage if I'm not getting debuffed, right? So then I run Clurry, and then instead of Charles, I go back and I run a traditional DPS, and that is going to also lead to that triple S whenever we get to it.
Can't you handle this?
And so the immunities are running off. If you look at our cooldown, so Kitty Clarissa is going to be there to save the day. His ult isn't back off cooldown, so I'm still safe for another turn, but I'm going to keep that up. I'm not going to use Kitty Clarissa's S3 for the dual attacks. I'm going to take this nice and slow, because once he does the ult and puts like the 3-4 stacks of poison on me, I want to make sure that I'm able to cleanse those off there right away, so I don't screw up my triple S run here.
Will you play with me, Al?
So, and I almost clicked on it anyway, just out of habit. Like I said, this is my 3rd run. I did 2. I always do a drive run. I'll be forthcoming, honest with you guys. This isn't just some blind pick like, oh man, let's put 4 units together in here and let's get it together. I want to make sure if the my strategy works. I want to make sure that it is feasible for you guys, and I can replicate it, right? So being able to replicate it is important to me. This might push him past my Kitty. No, it didn't. So I want to make sure that the strategy is able to be replicated, because I don't want to just put something up here that's going to be like a 1 in a million, right? Like I get a triple S, and nobody else in the entire game is able to get a triple S with this composition. So I put teams together. I tried one with Montmorency that was triple S. I tried one without Kitty Clarissa, and I just used my Chaos Axe to get double the.
Are you confident? I've done my part.
To get double the.
I'll show you how it's done.
This actually might be pretty bad for me, because he's going to take another turn. He might kill my Tamarin here. No, he didn't kill him. So she's going to transform here to get the debuffs off. So, but like I said, I did one with Montmorency. It was triple S. Instead of Kitty Clarissa, I brought my Chaos Axe, so I'd have double coverage on the attack debuff, so I could do more damage to him during this phase instead of the weakened phase, and that was triple S as well. So, you know, I want to make sure that you guys are seeing a composition that can be replicated, something that we can do over and over again, so that you guys can definitely be successful in getting your triple S as well. Now, I did swap some gear around, so I'm about 1 million gold poor. I did, you know, put DPS set on my Charles. My Charles is typically in a counter set for Guild Wars. He's in my Guild Wars defense, so I swapped that around so he can do more damage here. And I did put Joker on him instead of Elbrus. But besides that, oh, and I did swap my Vivian around, so she's a little bit faster. She's typically slower because she's getting boosted in arena offense. I use her sometimes in my arena offense, so she's getting boosted. So she doesn't need to be that fast. But for here, I want her to be faster, so she can cycle her turns, because she is not moled. I have a huge backlog of units that need to be moled. Again, I'm going to check the S3. So we're in the same position we were last time. Kitty Clarissa S3 up. And that's the only thing I have available to cleanse, because Nilgal's ult is getting ready to come back up. But like I was saying, I had to swap her gear around to make her a little bit faster because she is not mullet. And so that again, guys, you're like, well, my units aren't built. They aren't mullet. If you look at my Vivian, she's level 50. You look at my Tamarin. I literally just pulled her. That was my last Epic 7 video, was pulling for Tamarin. So she's level 50, isn't built all the way. Neither is my Vivian. These are units that it's like, man, I want to use these units, but I'm kind of not ready to use these units yet.
You can't close your eyes. I'll do
And so I'm going to keep not using Kitty Clarissa because I want to make it. I want to have her ready for when Nilgal does his ult here.
I'll show you how it's done.
And here we go.
I'm scared.
So this isn't going to heal everybody because we have the healing debuffs off, but it'll do what it does. It'll do what it needs to do.
Do your best.
So this will get the debuffs off everybody. This will also give me another dual attack with Charles. And this is actually a low run. Charles didn't do very many. Oh, she would. So this is going to detonate, and that's going to kill her.
Confident.
I'm going to put the
Forbidden spell.
immunity back up and the attack buff. So this was actually a really low run. My Charles basically didn't get very many S1, S2 procs, as you see right there, like that. His damage doubles when that happens. And that didn't happen very much this run. So the reason why I'm doing S1 is because I want that attack debuff, because it makes my group deal more damage. You get the 50% damage from him. So I really, really want him to be doing that, so that's why I'm spamming the S1. He has a chance to proc his S2 when he S1s, and that will kind of double his damage. So, like there you go. That is 3.9 million. That is a triple S. That's 25 points. You look at this, Charles did all the DPS, all the damages, and they're just there to support him. They're giving the immunity buff, giving the attack buff, giving the attack buff, giving the heal, doing the dual attack, the cleanses. That's all. It's basically Charles and some backup dancers, and chicks doing some backup dancing, and that's how all of my triple S's is going. It's basically just Charles running amok, and that's with really bad RNG. So I do have one more UCF. I bought one. Because I missed one from last week, so I missed some points. So I bought one with Skystone. So I did 3. I'll do my last one off stream, and then we'll go from there. So I will walk through the gear, and then we can also go through some alternative units again, in case you just skipped through the run. You didn't want to see the run. You just wanted to go straight to the discussion and talk about the units and things of that nature. So. First, I'll show you my Charles, the gear I have on him right now. Like I said, I swapped my Bloodblade Karen's gear off of him, and just off of her, and put it onto him. Gave him a Daydream Joker. It's not my best one. I do have one that's maxed. So he's sitting there, 4K attack, 84% crit, 214% crit damage. That could be a lot higher. I mean, I think this is an attack neck. Yeah, it is. So I mean, he could be doing a lot more damage. This was literally I just took a character I'm not using right now, or I'm not going to use today, and I stripped the gear, and I put it on Charles and called it a day. But I could definitely optimize this. If you're doing like an Oxlot's cleave or something, you can definitely take the gear off your cleaver. It's going to look a lot better than that. You're going to have way more than 4K attack and crit damage. Or if you don't, and you're just using some of the free gear, this is the Adventurer's Path gear, Terraria set. And this one is from one of the shops in the chapter 2 of the world quests of the quest out in the adventure. So this is a lot of free gear. This is season 2 arena set, and I did craft this. So there's one crafted piece, a 3-star artifact, and the rest of this is all from questing, just all from playing the game. Same with my Vivian. Actually, not the same with my Vivian, but this is the season 3 chest. I don't even have it at plus 15 yet. This is from normal raid. This was from the Litica side story event, and then these are crafted obviously, but I wanted her to be over 200 speed. She doesn't have very much crit, but I was running Midnight Bloom, so I usually have Caladra on her so she can bust through some defense broken targets in PvP. I did swap her gear around to make her a little bit faster. So with this, she was at 84%. That means Charles was actually at 100% crit. That's my kitty Clarissa at the time. I did change. I did not change anything around. This is the way I run her. I run her kind of to bait some things in PvP. Not so much anymore, but I don't really have anybody else that would use this kind of speed set, where it's low HP, high defense speed set with Strax at the moment. So that's her, and then my Tamarin's all the way down here because she's level 40 or level 50. And this was her. I did use Potion Vial. Potion Vial came in the clutch. I do have a max Potion Vial from way back in the day. I used to run it on my DN to get that pesky provoke off of her from Clury back in that meta in PvP. And some of this gear isn't all that great. It's just some leftover stuff I had. I should probably lock this. So I just locked it. I didn't see that. So yeah, this is it. She has pretty high effect resistance. So this was mainly to get debuffs off of other people, because I have heard this is an effect resistance ring. And I should probably get like a better one. I've had this since the very beginning of the game. I think I got this out of a chest in like a labyrinth somewhere. So I've had this since the beginning. It's been with me, been floating from character to character. So that's all I got for that. So alternative characters. So Vivian, right? So you want to use a character that gives an offensive character that's getting ready to come out is, like I said, is Lilius or Lilius, how you want to pronounce that. She's Fire Knight that's coming out, so I wouldn't need Charles either. That you can use there, that also runs the immunity buff. Basque, even though he's ice, he does have immunity buff. Angelica has the immunity buff, even though she's ice. So there's a few units that you can use that will provide you the immunity buff. And arguably the immunity buff is more important than the cleansing, because if you have 100% uptime on immunity, like if I had 2 immunity buffs here, so like let's say I get Lilius, right? And then I just run her instead of Kitty Clarissa, and it'd be Lilius and Vivian. And then I run both of those. I can swap Charles out, bring an actual DPS, and then I don't even need Tamarin. Then I can go back to using DN, or I can use whatever healer I want, or any kind of healing I want. I'm a really, really, really big fan of Guider Aether. I'll show you that in here too, for healing now in PvE. I did strip his gear for somebody else. I think it was for PvP. I have 2 of these. I have the attack to the entire party, and I have the stun. I do want the S1 one as well. I'm gonna keep fishing to get the barrier to the group. This is actually pretty potent, because now Guider Aether can supply my attack buff to the entire group. Does the healing on the S3. He has Molud. Healing. Continuous healing and increased attack, so that I could be running 4 DPS and have one of those DPS Guider Aether be my healer, right? Especially if I swap this one out and get the one where the barrier goes on the group, and then I can have the heal. I can have the heal over time, the continuous heal, and group barrier. Oh, come on, man! That is so nice for a healer. So those are my recommendations for the run. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, please feel free to drop me a comment in the comments section. I respond 100% to all of my comments. If you want to at me at Twitter, if you want to look at Path Gaming on Twitter, I will respond to you on there. If you want to look at our Facebook or leave us a message on the website, you are definitely free to do that. All those links are here in the YouTube channel. If you want to go there, I'm always free to talk. As you see, I'm yammering on here. If you want to have a one-on-one talk, you want to go through your roster, you want to do anything like that, you can catch me there. You can catch me on the live stream at Darcy's. If you're already watching, thank you. I appreciate your viewership. Please feel free to like and subscribe this if you want to keep seeing this kind of content. Like I said, I actually forgot to record my first 2 runs, and I was just like thinking, oh man, I forgot. There's some people out there that might want to see that. So thanks a lot, and until next time, guys, peace.